Hey guys, J Hood Creative here again. Hey, I was inspired by a video I saw earlier today by Big E's of the New York Warriors, where he broke down his recent haul he got from a show that he went to. And one of the things I intended to do from the beginning is kind of share my hunting stories, how I find books, how I come across them, maybe my thought process as far as like what goes, just the thought process, what goes through my head. Sorry, I guess distracted by something going on. So I figured I'd just do a real quick live video. Hey, poor Mike, how you doing? Just figured I'd walk you through some of the steps of how I ended up with this particular copy of this particular book. Captain Comics, thanks for joining. Ahoy. Warlord, thanks for joining me. Unruly Simeon, thanks for joining me, man. This is just going to be a real quick video. I'm going to do a screen share here. So I was sitting on a pile of cash that I originally wanted a giant size X-Men one. That wasn't going to happen, so I ended up going on a shopping spree for a bunch of other stuff. And pretty much everything on the wall behind me ended up as part of that haul. I went over all that in my video with Magic Classo a couple weeks ago. You know, I got some big books like the Guy Gardner behind me. I think of all of those, that was the biggest dollar book from that particular haul up until this point. So I'm going to do what Big E's did. I'm going to tell you like where I was like money wise and everything. So I had this pile of cash. I wanted to cover all the shipping on the tattoos and stuff like that. I wanted enough to do some slabbing, even though I cracked that Green Lantern slab. Comic Mag Musings, thanks for joining. So I want to slab some books to maximize profits as I get rid of some of them. So I wanted enough money left over to do that. So I was looking at a budget of about $800. That's kind of my high end, what I was looking to spend. And I'll do a screen share here and kind of show you some of the things I was seeing, like what was available on, let's see, I gotta get this in the right order here. Is this it? That's not the one. Let's try, oops. Got a bunch of tabs open. Same one, not it. Riveting YouTube content. Okay, that's not the one I wanted to show either. Dang it. Okay, let's make it simple. All right, so basically what I was coming across was that basically the books that were available, we were seeing, man, I really want to show this. Basically what was available were a bunch of graded books. What's this one? That's not even it. Close that one. Jeez. Terrible. One away. Hey. Send out the call, man. Let's see if we can get 400. I don't have my YouTube page up, so let me know if we get there. I know it was about 389, something like that. And this is like the worst. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, as far as raw books goes, this was kind of the best that was out there. As far as condition, 6.5 The guy wanted $8.95. These are all sold. These have all sold. I believe he would take a best offer on this, but his big thing was he even mentioning it. He said this is a qualified 6.5. Well, that's because the lower staples popped on the cover. So I considered it, but the price was it was more than I could afford, so I passed on it. One of the things that happened just shortly before I found the one I landed on, I was in, I think it was a thorough auction. I was watching a thorough auction, and a seller had one. I kind of put the call out, does anybody have this book? And one seller did have, he had a slab 5.0, and he put it up as a buy it now for, I want to say $725, something like that. And I thought about it hard, and I just told him I wanted to kind of think about it overnight. And that book sold in that auction. So somebody got that deal. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can find another one to show. I just had, I think, 4 examples. Here was one that the seller was taking offers on, $649. I think I sent him an offer and never got a response. In part of this video, I wanted to kind of explain what I like to see in a eBay listing. So which one? Okay, so let's go with this one. So this is one I took a good hard look at. This was an auction, so it kind of started at $1. And so this is the epitome of an eBay listing that I do not like. I generally just pass by them, but since it was a book I was very interested in, I actually reached out to the seller and asked him for more photographs. So what don't I like? I don't like the fact that he's cutting off edges of the book in his photographs, especially the corners. He's got the book in a bag. It's not laying flat on the table. We got it propped up on a computer or something. And this is a fairly usable image in the fact that it shows that the staples are intact. Then he goes through the rest of the book where all I want to see is the centerfold, and there it is. So it shows that the centerfold's intact, and then he doesn't even show a great image of the back cover. But you can start to pick up on something that I started to pick up on. If you look, let's just go this way. Right here in the center, we've got what looks to be a subscription crease. And he did not mention a subscription crease in his description. I'm sorry, he says there's a one faint crease the whole way down the front. So he really minimized the impact of that crease. So I did reach out to the guy and I asked him for more pictures, and the resulting pictures I got, okay, so remember the movie League of Their Own? Marla Hooch was the one unattractive baseball player, and when they were doing their montage, they're showing all the players on the team, like they'd show action shots of a girl doing this and that, throwing, hitting, and everything. And then when I got to Marla Hooch, it was like a distant shot, like she was standing out in the outfield, and the cameraman was on home plate, and it's like, Marla Hooch, what a hitter. It was those kind of photographs where they were like way far away. You couldn't see them. They were just totally unusable. I'm saying, getting a notification. I got new comments, but it's not popping up. Great price for the slab, right? Exactly. She can't. By the way, good to see you, Adrian. Thanks for stopping in. So let's see if I can show kind of a spoiler report. I already showed the one I bought. What was this one? That's it. So conversely, this is a listing I love to see. The front, the front cover image, you can see all four edges clearly. He went out of his way to show the spine, including nice shots of the staples. I judge this to be sub 5.0, probably closer to a 4.0, but I'm not a great grader by any means at this point, so I would say this is a 4.5, but I'm willing to have someone correct me on that. And then you got a good shot of the inside back cover, including staples. No bad staple pulls. Back cover did show some staining. Looks like some water stains there, some foxing, relatively noticeable crease there. But he shows the whole thing, and based on the fact that I passed on a 5.0 at, what did I say, 725, something like that, I am perfectly happy buying a raw book in the fact I prefer raw books. And part of it is because of the price, that I don't have to pay the premium. The book at this, a graded 4.5, I think was around $500 or $600. No, it was $600, because my price, the price I paid, didn't approach the GPA on a graded. So there is the book. I'll show you the back cover. So everything we saw in the photographs was there. Foxing at the top, that crease at the bottom, some staining. The book is really flat, and I would guess that it has been pressed. I don't know if I'm going to get any sheen on it. There we go. It's really super flat. So not perfect. I wasn't looking for perfect. I was looking for good enough for me, which generally my thing is I like flat, but you can get flat with pressing. I like clean edges. I like sharp corners if I can get them, but in a book at this price point, I'm willing to give up the sharp edges, or the sharp corners, I mean. And it can have, some color breaking spine ticks, but I don't want to see a big nasty one, going down, a diagonal, or, splitting the book or anything like that. So that's it. That's a good close-up look at the copy I ended up with. For the price I paid, I'm very satisfied. Let me know. Did I do okay? I tend to think that I penny pinch real hard when it comes to spending anything on any comics, especially on something this expensive. So there it is. Leave a comment. Tell me how I did. Did I do okay? Did I pay too much? Should I held out for more? Let me know. Hey, you guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Jeff Schultz. Hey, I see you there. Comic Mag Musings, Poor Mike, Adrian, Coach Vic. I just did it. I just pulled the triggers right before bath time. And bath time is now. So got to wrap this up. Thanks, guys. Remember, on J Hood Creative, we remind you, keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, then comic books. See you next time, guys.